I love the idea of, getting to lay down in one of these boxes for a while. You don't get the opportunity to, I've never laid in a casket before, so, now I can check that off the list.
Hello, and welcome to Grave Conversations, the only show where your favorite celebrities get to lie down. I'm your host, David Dastmalchian. Today's guest is someone that we hope lives for a very, very, very long time. He is a legendary comedy writer, performer you've loved for decades. You know him from Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Arrested Development, and my holiday classic favorite, Elf. It is my pal, Andy Richter. Andy, I'm so glad that you could join us today. Are you feeling comfortable in your grief case?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I'm a little tall for it. I imagine you're a little tall for yours too, aren't you?
It's just the right perfect. I just fit in just like the hamburger with the bun.
That's
I feel
good.
like we're right at the edge of the bread.
When I was a kid, I used to love hiding in a closet. Just going and laying down in a closet and shutting the door and just the quiet and the dark.
Are you Midwest?
Yes.
Winter storms, giant piles of snow in the back, and I'd make this big snow fort, which is just a big pile of snow, and then carve out a little hole in it.
When I was a kid, I grew up in kind of an area that was sort of farmland, but it was giving way to, tract houses, subdivisions and stuff. And all of the excavated foundations for these houses were put in big piles in an open bean field. And neighborhood kids older than me started digging burrows into them, like little hideouts. And there was one that I went into, and looking back on it, it was like a room built into this dirt mound with 5 kids hanging out in it. And it was just
It's so cool, but also
cave-in
so
waiting
dangerous.
to happen.
It's so dangerous. The thought of
6 children were killed today
one
when a
faulty
ton
move.
of mud fell on them.
It's so dangerous. Just mid-construction homes that we would just use as our place to play.
Completely. When they built a new house across the street, and we were down in the foundation after a rainy day, and one of the brothers started to write "eat shit," and he got to eat SHI, and we heard, "Hey, what are you kids doing down there?" And we all went, "Oh shit," and got away. A year later, the family that moved across the street, the boy from we went over to their house and hung out in their basement, and behind the paint on the basement walls you could see handprints and "eat shit" coming through the paint. And he's like, "Yeah, my dad's painted it 4 times, but it keeps coming back." And we were like, oh, I wonder who could have done that.
I'm so glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a minute, but
yeah,
really grateful you're here. Are you ready to dive in?
Of course.
Okay, the first segment that we do on the show is a little thing we call questions you need to answer before you die, or as nobody calls it, quintabid. Andy, when they say everybody was kung fu fighting, realistically, how many people do you think they're really talking about?
It's really hard to know, but I really feel like everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everybody.
But are you looking for a number?
Possibly, or a percentage.
I think it's got to be at least 20.
Okay.
And I'm saying that's 2 groups of 10.
Sure.
Because otherwise it wouldn't warrant a song. You know what I'm saying? If just 8 people had been kung fu fighting, maybe a poem. But not a fully produced funk track,
If there's a thing I know about musicians, though, they're embellishers.
That's,
so.
yeah.
But you're right.
You got to make the story good,
You gotta.
A majority of people were kung fu fighting.
A large number of folks.
A considerable amount of kung fu fighting.
If you opened a museum dedicated to your mistakes,
oh boy,
what would the gift shop sell?
Well, one of the things would certainly be those boxed CD collections of me saying the same thing in therapy for 12 years and then going then the end one would be like, hey, wait a minute.
I want the VHS set of that. You know, there's like, I've got the Dorf on golf, and then I want the Andy Richter therapy.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you respect the authority of parking cones?
I am a rule follower for the most part.
No, you're not.
I am a good boy, and I was raised to be a good boy. And like things like shoplifting, you know, like where you're, and I, you know, and especially now, like now that capitalism has gone absolutely berserk and there are people like, yeah, steal shit. And, you know, sort of the part of me that's been radicalized by just the intense cruelty of most other people in the world says, yeah, steal shit. But there's no way I could not steal shit.
What is a conspiracy theory you don't believe in, but you desperately wish was true?
That humanity was actually competent and well organized enough to have virtually any conspiracy theory be true, because my experience in life tells me what usually picks apart any conspiracy theory is people's inability to get their shit together and work as a group and keep a fucking secret. Does not happen, you know. Although, you know, Epstein files, there's some pretty active evil going on there and some organization going on there.
I believe in them all, so I don't
Do you
know
believe in all of them?
all of them.
I'm that way with ghosts too. Like I would love for ghosts to be real, and there's enough stuff out there, you know, like you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So there's over time, there's been so much ghost evidence that you feel like, well, there's got to be something there. But I've never seen one, and I want to see one so badly, and it would be so much fun. And I've talked about it too, like because I do a radio call-in show, and we do ghost stories, which is like one of my favorite ones. And some of them are just so great and chilling, but I've just never, you know, never really felt one.
Well, I'm gonna make that happen for you.
Okay. Please do.
I go first.
Manager.
One of my commitments I'm making to the universe is I'm gonna come back and haunt Andy
Oh,
Richter.
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, now I have a reason to stay alive longer than you.
You will. With all that dancing you're doing, I tell you what. What's the weirdest thing that your brain treats as an emergency?
Fussy little dad things that need to be fixed. Like this got attention when I was doing Dancing with the Stars. My partner, Emma Slater, she drives this ridiculous giant safari vehicle, and I parked behind her with her temporary plates on it. And then we did a TikTok video once where it was like a gag that I was tied up in the back of her car. Check it out. Yeah, I'm not going to explain it. And there's 2 license plates, and one of them has the fucking stickers on it. And I'm like, how long have these plates been in the back of your car? And she's like, oh, a couple of months. And I was just like, oh, that would
make me insane. Oh. I would never be able to drive around like that. I'm gonna get arrested.
I brought in my crescent wrench with the star-shaped screws, and when I got to the studio, I'm like, we're putting the plates on your car right now. And we went down and did it. Yeah.
Good friend.
And she started making a TikTok of it and was crying about it. And I was like, don't fucking cry about it.
I've never done it. I don't even know how to do it. I don't really know though how to use a screwdriver. I always have to ask a woman.
Oh, honey.
You're given a red pill and a blue pill.
Yes.
If you eat the red pill, every potato on Earth disappears. You eat a blue pill, every sweet potato on Earth disappears. Which spud are you eliminating for everyone on Earth?
Well, it's for everyone on Earth, so I would have to eliminate sweet potatoes because there's just too many French fries and people are too fry dependent.
But sweet potato fries are so good.
I know, but they do not.
They're not for everybody, but
in terms of importance.
They're for me.
Yes.
I'd be so selfish right now because yes, I hear you. You're making the right, proper decision.
Yes.
By the way, I've never had sweet potato hash browns. So
I don't think it would work. I think they'd get all mushy.
What about like a sweet potato bar? You know, like because I really love a loaded baked potato. Mm-hmm. Would there be such a thing as a loaded? You know what? You're right. Okay, I'm switching. I was 100% committed to sweet potatoes, saving the sweet potatoes, but I think you're right.
It would be a major sacrifice to me because there is like nothing better than just a sweet potato that's just baked. Don't do anything to it, but put salt and butter on it.
Perfect.
Oh, it's the fucking
Because
best.
you're right, Ruffles as a sweet potato wouldn't be great. Pringles as a sweet potato would be great. That's okay.
And you have too many, you have pomme frite, you have latke, you have,
You're right. No, you're right.
You have pierogi. There's too much culture dependence
I
on
understand.
just plain old taters. In the comments, I just see the word joy, joy, joy. For someone who has lived much of my life just with a basic sort of baseline of sadness, like that feels like winning a war. It was unexpectedly easy to get in and out of. I've had recent surgery and I was afraid like, oh shit, I hope I don't like wipe out getting in there.
Andy,
Yes.
I've always wanted to ask you this.
Oh, good.
And I'm glad I get to now. During your years on Conan,
Yes.
did you ever catch yourself just like spacing out during a less than interesting conversation?
Did I ever? Oh my God. I mean, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There, I mean, and I don't think I feel like there was one time where I kind of got caught.
Got busted.
I got caught, yeah. But most of the time I was able to kind of just keep like 10% of my ear going, like to just be in it enough. And honestly though, as it went on, like in the later years, that became less of an issue. I really did like just start to be able to engage more. I don't know whether it's just becoming more of a grown up or whatever. But oh yeah, certainly there would just be times where I'd be thinking about something else.
On a scale from fun experiment to full identity crisis, where did Dancing with the Stars land for you?
Blindsiding transformational occurrence, because I did it. I said yes to it because that show pays really great, and even if you're like, you get voted off right away, it's still like a nice paycheck. And yeah, you got to sort of like, there's a month before the show airs pretty much where you're rehearsing, which, as a good boy, I was there as much as they wanted to be, but some people weren't. Some people like took it as a suggestion, like, 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. There were a couple people like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to be gone for a couple of days,
Sure.
So I said yes because it was a good job. It was, like I make TV. That's my job, and I only say no to things that are just too shitty. And this is not. It's not shitty. It's a very good opportunity, and it's a flattering thing to be asked. And I was asked to do it in April, and it started at the end of August. So I had a whole summer to kind of get ready. And of course, I started like 2 weeks before it started.
Sure.
But like I got into the gym and started to do more cardio and started to stretch and get my body kind of ready for it. And then I started, and before I started, I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was petrified that I was going to like just be embarrassed and ashamed and not be able to do it, and just like, and also too, just like not a fan of my own physicality and my own body, and like having to do something with my body in front of everybody, like Janine Garofalo used to do a bit about her vagina, where she said they were like roommates. They lived together, and and
I remember
but it's
that.
like your space is your space, and I'm over here, and like we don't have to deal with each other that much. And that's kind of how I feel about like my whole body. It was like, yeah, this stupid vessel I'm in, but I don't like to, and having a lot of, I've talked about it before, like fat kid shame, kind of just, that just kind of doesn't leave you. And then I started doing it, and I fell in love very quickly with Emma Slater, who is my partner, who's just one of the best people in the world. And I started to enjoy it. I started to feel energized by it, even though it's like exhausting and frustrating. And she was so great about getting me over being scared and frustrated that I couldn't do it. Because in the beginning, it's like, Frankenstein can't move legs right.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're sort of like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, towards the end, I'd say about probably 6 weeks into it, 5, 6 weeks into it, we would have, every week is a new dance. I would pick it up by the end of the first rehearsal.
So cool.
Like we do it on Tuesday, and then Wednesday she would teach it to me, and by the end of Wednesday, I would pretty much know it. So having that was an amazing thing to me, to feel like whatever wiring between my head and my legs and my feet started to fire and started to really work. And then it really started to just make me, there was just something that happened about it that just, it turned on some kind of joy faucet in me. And people watching the show started to experience joy vicariously.
It must have felt...
It was surprising to me.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me because, I've been on TV a long time, and like I would say, I know people like me, but like to this level was just...
It's awesome.
It was crazy. And it was, I couldn't believe it. And, and a lot of it was doing TikTok and Instagram videos, which I felt a little bit like, wait, part of doing this dance show is making little comedy videos? Oh, well, like, I actually kind of know how to do that. The fact that I was experiencing joy, and that in the comments, so I just see the word joy, joy, joy. And I've said this before, that like for someone who had depression, been a depressive, lived much of my life just with a basic sort of baseline of sadness, like that feels like winning a war. Like to be the joy factory and to be, like to be feeling it and inspiring it, that's crazy and wonderful. And like truly, like the war is over. Like I can calm down. And part of that being sad and part of that living as a depressed person was like always feeling kind of an ambivalence about just being alive and never feeling like, living, dying, easy come, easy go. And from doing this show and feeling joy, feeling like assuming, this is a cliche, ownership of my body and not hating my body anymore, and feeling like, no, I can, I'm not old, I'm not lazy, I'm not incapable. I can do whatever I want, and I am a physical being, and I enjoy being a physical being. People people who don't understand depression don't understand that, like, oh no, yeah, you can be okay, you can live a life and have a pretty full life while never feeling very attached to it. And you can love people and have people love you, but there's always, a sneeze guard on top of everything. You can see it all, it's there, you can even kind of touch it, but there's a barrier.
Yeah.
And something about a fucking ballroom dance show took that away. I mean, I never in a million years would have expected that to happen from that. Part of being a dad is always kind of working towards your own obsolescence. You never stop feeling like you got to take care of people. Getting blindsided with good things is, it's like the best Christmas present ever.
A big part of this show now is trying to normalize conversations about death and dying. So as long as we're two grown men laying in caskets, not making eye contact, let's talk about death, baby.
All right.
There's a little segment that we call Death Wish. Andy Richter.
Yes.
How would you like to die, if not peacefully in your sleep?
Oh, you can't take that one off.
You had to.
I've said this before kind of as a joke, but I also kind of mean it. I wouldn't mind being protein for a large predator.
Got it.
Like talk about being useful.
Yeah.
See, you said peacefully in your sleep. It could be violently in my sleep if like the mountain lion just pierced my medulla oblongata with its big fangs, like where I was like sleeping on my side and just came in and gave me a good shake and then I was out.
You're in a sleeping bag.
The
bear, the mountain lion. Yeah, I love it.
And then they can take their time and just enjoy the buffet.
If you could live forever, would you want to? Yeah.
No. It's just too much
Take
work.
it from this vampire. It's just not as fun as it sounds.
It's too much work. It's too much work. And also too, part of the best part of life is getting older and getting smarter. And I think that eventually that would stop. Like, I don't think if you lived to 200 that you would enjoy the same level of, like, I'm smarter at 59 than I was at 29. Like, in that 30-year span, I got really so much smarter and calmer and just better at all of this. And I don't think 100 years I don't think I'm gonna get the same level. I think, I basically don't think I'll ever get better than I am right now. I do like the notion of vampires, like, that they figure out, like, how to make lots of money really easily. I don't know, like.
Oh, I think it's like learning how to play, because I could never play the guitar. So I feel like a vampire can play like every solo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You got the time. Might as well
Steve
not.
Vai on the guitar. Absolutely.
You got your days free.
When did you first become aware that you were going to die?
And we'll go into it along because it's just medical shit. But in like 2008, I think it was, I had a stroke, and that was, to have a doctor say you dodged a bullet on that one. That was kind of chilling. I mean, yeah, but it ended up being like large. In some ways, it was weird because I had a gazillion tests after it happened, and my cardiovascular system is great, and all they could really find is I had terrible sleep apnea, and I've been sleeping with a CPAP machine ever since.
Wow.
But like, it wasn't like the wake up call to like completely turn my life around and do nothing but, drink wheatgrass juice and do ultra marathons. I still was kind of a slob in many ways, but it definitely did make me aware of my own mortality, and probably made me a little more careful in just not even so much like behavioral things, but just careful in sort of like awareness and my attitude and my engagement with the people around me.
What do you think your last thought would realistically be?
Oh, it would probably be about my family and wanting them to know that I love them, and a little bit of worry about how they'll be after me.
Sure.
Part of being a dad is always kind of working towards your own obsolescence. You never stop feeling like you got to take care of people.
Do you think that death is an ending or a transition?
I think in terms of consciousness, which is basically what we define ourselves as, it's an ending. I just don't think that we go on to anything else. It can be, I don't know, in terms of like what energy and you do end up turning into some kind of other form of energy and some sort of form of, like I said, like nourishment to something. But no, I don't think, I think that Andy goes when the brain and the heart stop. I think that's the end of that guy.
Sure.
Aside from in people's hearts and minds. He's a very profound guy. He likes to have fun, but he also is not afraid of like scary things and deep things, and he likes to talk about those things, and I do too, so it was good.
Andy, I appreciate you going there with us today. I think it's really important and it means a lot. Let's talk about what you have going on outside of the casket.
All right.
What are you working on, personally or professionally, that makes you feel alive right now?
Well, I don't know when this is coming out, but I am gonna do the Dancing with the Stars tour. They were nice enough while I was doing it to ask me if I would be involved. I'm doing an East Coast run from like mid-February to beginning of March, and then I'm doing mid-April through the end of the tour, which is like the second week of May or something like that. Almost 6 weeks of the tour. So that's, I don't know exactly how many dates that is, but it's probably about 30.
Thank you for being here on Grave Conversations. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
As a person, and I appreciate you laying around with us today. But before you go, We do have one more thing.
Yes.
We would like for you, please, to give your own eulogy. You'll never guess how we will spell it on the graphic. Eulogy. When I
E-W-E.
There it is. When I say Doc, you're gonna have 60 seconds to give yourself your own eulogy.
60 seconds.
60 seconds.
That's an eternity.
You walked up to the cat. Well, it can be as long as it doesn't go over 60 seconds.
All right,
It can be less
right.
than.
All right, 60 seconds.
3, 2, 1, die.
Andy tried really hard to be good, and it was important to him to be good and to be kind and to make people happy. Sometimes a little too much. But I think everybody knew that, and as he got older and they started to appreciate that, he started to appreciate that he needed to take better care of himself and make more room for what he needed. I think everybody still understood that that came from a place of wanting them to be happy and wanting everyone to just live a better life and to be better together and love each other.
I hope you do know how many people you've made happy, Andy Richter, and also everyone I know who knows you loves you. That was one of the best eulogies that's ever been delivered here.
Oh,
so
thank you
for that. So, welp, Wu-Tang forever.
This has been nice, but the ending's a little rude. Who's gonna get me the fuck out of this box? I just had a hip replacement. I'm gonna need a crane or a lift if they could get me out of here. They forgot to tuck in the tufty part too. The mice are gonna get to that. You know, any chance I get to lie down for a little while in the middle of the day is refreshing.